Hi, and welcome to my GTKRadiant mapping guide. This guide will be teaching you the basics of how to map inside Quake's GTKRadiant. This tutorial will cover the basics of mapping, and possibly I'll do more, covering doors, entities, triggers, 3-point clipping, etc. Well, let's get started. This tutorial assumes you've already installed GTKRadiant 1.5 or 1.4. Doesn't really matter. It's just some GTKRadiant 1.5 you can go below a grid size of 1, which is not good. So I will not be going below a grid size of 1. That's pretty much the only difference. They say GTKRadiant 1.5 is a bit more buggy, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen any bugs. So this will be the screen you get when you first start up. You might have that. I just usually scroll that down because I don't like seeing that unless I'm compiling. This will be your 3D area. This is where your textures load, and this is your grid area where you'll be spending most of your time. Now you might be wondering that why your grid area is black and white and mine's black and green. Well, my eyes tend to bleed when it's black and white at night, so I go to miscellaneous, colors, themes, and black and green. Usually when you start up it is Q84 original. I just put out black and green, just make my life a whole lot easier. Well, let's get started. First we're going to make a box, which is called a brush. Boxes in Quake, or pretty much most other games, are called brushes. Sort of like your building blocks. You have a floor, a ceiling, a wall. Those would be all brushes. So this is our box. By the way, to move inside the 3D area, you right click in the 3D area, use your arrow keys to move around, scrolly wheel to zoom in and out. And here, right click to move in and out, scrolly wheel to move up and down. So you can change views, so you can see your Z-axis. Move this up to 128, and now just put this at 0, so we're right at our origin. And then we're going to click hollow. Now, most mappers will probably give me stink eye for doing this, because that isn't the way you should do it. You should be making 6 brushes to avoid. It's better for smooth mapping, better for FPS, etc. So first, we're going to want to place a spawn point. Change the views back to the X and Y axis. Right click in the grid. Go to Info, Player Start. Now, I probably should have changed this to a multiplayer settings before we started, but it will work just fine multiplayer for the moment. Now you might notice that it's facing the wall. You don't really want that, so let's just rotate it so that it faces outside that direction. To deselect, press escape. Now what you're going to want to do is apply textures. Let's go down to textures, and we'll go to Kicks and Giggles Bis. Let's just find a floor, basic floor, basic floor. To place the floor texture, Control Shift to click the floor, to select the floor. Now this won't select the whole brush, it just selects the surface, allowing you just to place a texture on the surface and not on the entire brush. So now for the walls, we can just deselect that, Control click the walls, Control Shift click the walls, I should say. Move up, find a wall texture. Okay, now this is going to be a great example of how you use the surface editor. So you see the walls, and it's not really lined up. You see the bottom of the wall texture is midway through almost touching the ceiling. So you press S to bring up the surface inspector, and we'll just click fit right here. Now you notice that it is kind of stretched, so we could just make 2 of the same texture on the brush through the width, and that looks pretty good. Textures aren't horribly stretched. They're stretched a little bit, but not as much as it is a tutorial anyway. No, it's just nasty. I always have trouble picking out textures from Biz. They all kind of suck. Okay, we'll just deal with that. You have a ceiling. Pretty good. Now, if you actually want to spawn in the game, you're going to need some lighting. Otherwise, it's just going to be a pitch black room. You can't see anything. So right-click near corner, go to light. Default value is either going to be 300 or 0. Erase that, type in 5000. We're not going to do dynamic lighting through this tutorial. Move that up to the top of the corner. Now, to duplicate, you press spacebar. 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 And one in the center. Well, your map's pretty much done for basic box. Let us compile. Now 1.4 you'll see probably BSP. That is the same as build in 1.5. So scroll down to test, which will be in both 1.4 and 1.5. Click on test. It's going to want you to save your map. Type in epic box, because the box is epic. So let the thing compile. This is your compile window. Nothing you need to worry about for the moment. 1.4 will give you a whole bunch of data. It is the same thing as the 1.5 window, only compressed. Or decompressed, I should say. So now that your map's been compiled, you're going to close out of Radiant, and you're going to launch JA. Now, I don't have my disk on me, so I'm just going to use Boba Fett's Ultra Utility. I'm going to go launch JA, and I'm going to go dev map epic box. When you go into JA and you don't have UU, you can just open up the console, type in /dev map space epic box, and it should start up. Most like most other maps. Alright, so you have spawned in your first map. Congratulations. You're in a box. You're surrounded. Forever. Floating. Nothing to do. I'll add in some more fun stuff in the next tutorial. Till then, I'll see you guys later.